Episode 2, Cube Conversation. Just swung into biomodern health here in Sulphur. Going to be meeting with Dr. Brett Gschwend. Get a little adjustment, and then we're going to jump in the car and have a conversation. All right, let's do this. There's great adjustment, by the way. I appreciate that. So, guys, I've been going to modern health a little over 2 years, I'd say, at this point. It's been a while. And I can remember the first time I came in, I realized something was a little bit different. You know, it wasn't, I definitely had some neck pain. I probably played a little too much golf. But beyond that, I think the conversation we had, I kind of recognized you're doing a little bit more than just adjustments for people, for, you know, as far as chiropractic care. And I made the comment about how around in my 30s, I really started getting more conscious around my diet. And then I started recognizing how all that really connected with my digestional system, not just digestive system, but also just my mental health, my physical health, my weight, and just how I dealt with stress.
Yeah.
And which, as you know, I mean, as you get older, things like that, just you gotta really start thinking about that. And the more I read about it, obviously too, I wanted to learn more. Well, that's when I learned about what biomodern had to offer, and it was much more, again, than just the chiropractic care. You have all these different services because they're all connected. Would you agree?
Yeah. You gotta take the whole body approach, for sure.
The whole body approach. And so I was already doing that, but really unguided, which is scary. But so whenever I met you and I met your team, it was just really encouraging to know that, hey, this is real. Like there's actual business out there that caters to this. And so I guess my question for you today really would be just, you know, like, what was the moment in your life where you said, hey, you know, I want to do this a little bit different? Like, was there an event that kind of inspired you to get into something just a little bit more than what, you know, most people would assume? Hey, I'm just going in for an adjustment, but I can also get counseling. I can also get nutrition help. You know, you guys have body scanning. I mean, really understanding how each person's individual body works, because that, to me, that's a game changer. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach. It's a very individualistic approach to what you're doing. So could you speak to that?
Yeah, so that's actually going to be two parts. So first part is, honestly, after I had, you know, there's a lot of my story that's not going to be in this part, but sure. After I had made that decision to go to chiropractic school, I come into chiropractic school, I meet someone who eventually becomes a mentor to me as I'm coming in, and he says, you know, if you want to, you know, have a very successful business and you want to help people to the full potential, then don't just settle for the status quo on the education available at school. It's like, you have to expand your knowledge base, and he recommended studying functional medicine and functional neurology, which are the deeper understandings of biochemistry, physiology, you know, lab work, things like that, which is the functional medicine part. Functional neurology is more understanding how does the brain and body communicate together at a very intricate level, not just in the sense of understanding a pathology that you need to send it out to a neurologist, but also understanding, well, when I have this type of symptomatology or this type of condition, it means that this type of interference is happening in the nervous system, and then you can do this to affect it in a positive way, etc., etc. So it just expands on the depth and specificity of knowledge that still fit within the same constructs of chiropractors deal with the musculoskeletal system, and they can do nutrition. We just kind of expanded both of those. So that's the first part, was I was encouraged to study those other things. The other part of it is just as I got into practice and I started seeing individuals with certain things, and you know, a lot of things, it goes by the 80-20 rule. So 80% of people would feel just fine and do just fine with just getting the basic stuff, chiropractic, you know, maybe a little exercise and rehab. But then there was those other people that just didn't get better. And for me, part of my story was I was always kind of rejected by doctors and just sent to the next person because nobody could figure out what was wrong with me. Eventually, it just got to that point to where it's all in my head, and I got strung out on pain pills and all of those things. So I think there's a certain passionate part of myself that's not going to allow that to be the easy answer of, well, I couldn't help you, so go see somebody else. I'm gonna figure it out. So that just kind of led to, okay, well, I can't help this person with their upper back pain and elbow pain because they're so inflamed. Well, why are they inflamed? Their diet. They also have metabolic issues. They also have chronic infections that lead to inflammation, et cetera, et cetera. So for those people, I wouldn't be able to help them with what they needed unless I helped them with their nutrition, for example. So that brings me into really expanding more of my practice into nutrition, because I started finding that when we work with people's nutrition and help them change their physiology and level of inflammation, they don't even have pain to need to be worked on in the first place. Well, the next part that came up is, okay, a lot of those people can take these recommendations and do better and get the results that we want, but then some people couldn't even make the diet change, right? They couldn't even do what they needed to do to get the results that I'm as close to getting them a promise as I can without being unethical. So then it's like, okay, well, why can they not make these changes? So obviously that was in the psychology, it was around mindset, so that got me into doing coaching and transformational psychology, behavioral psychology, and things like that. So it was really just always answering the question of why, and then how can I find the answer and create that as a solution for somebody. So combination of both things.
I love it. And it's one of those things you kind of discover, maybe some of us out there, for me, it kind of started with, I just wanted to lose weight. And when I accomplished that, it was great. And I noticed some of the benefits, but then just like anything I've gotten into, I had to go a little bit further. I had to learn a little bit more, because when it came to waking up in the morning and why some mornings that I wake up better than others. And I think I even joked at one time, I visited with this man, I had a cupcake yesterday and it just threw me all off. And for me, I started recognizing, that impact on what I was eating. And again, just kind of starts because it's a gigantic circle that's all related to our overall health. So I really appreciate that insight this morning. And for those of you that haven't checked out BioModern Health, please do. They're in Sulphur, Louisiana. Dr. Brett Gschwend and his team just give you a first-class experience from start to finish. I love the text reminders. I love just being able to text with your team about anything that I need and schedule appointments. It's very, very easy to work with. But then just the sweet spot is just the overall understanding of the what, when, why, and how of my body personally, to help me live in my best life. So Dr. Gschwend, I really appreciate your time today. Guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode. And anything you want to leave them with?
Well, one thing that I can say is that sometimes we also have really cool people come in and play guitar for us in the clinic.
That does happen occasionally, I hear. So we're having a great day today. I can't wait to come back and do that with you.
All right, brother.
Thanks again.
See you, man.
We'll see you soon.